Welcome to JFDI with the two Lauras. This is the weekly podcast where we share our tips, our ideas, our opinions and our advice to help you to work as a freelance social media manager. On today's show, we are joined by some other voices because we've been asking what you're going to start doing, stop doing or continue doing in 2025. So shortly you're going to hear from some other voices and they are going to be telling you all of the things that they're going to be doing next year. But before we get into it, I thought I would share what I'm thinking about doing. So I am going to continue using Threads in 2025. So far, I have really enjoyed using it. I find it so easy to create content on there. You can really just say whatever it is you're thinking at the time. There's no need to really overthink and create long, in-depth, drawn-out content, although you can, and it does work on there. But I love that I don't have to video anything, and I don't have to go find a brilliant photo or go in Canva. So I love Threads, so I'm definitely going to continue doing that on there. I've also noticed how easy it is for you to get leads on there. So if you're not on Threads, maybe try and get on Threads next year if you're looking for leads. One thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start trying to use more case study content because I see how good it is to attract the right people. I see how it helps people to make decisions. And we all know how valuable social proof is. But historically, Laura and I have felt a little bit about doing that. So I'm going to try and make a conscious effort to use a bit more case study content and social proof in our social media marketing. So if you don't see that coming from me, then feel free to pull me up on it next year and ask me why I haven't been sharing your stories, because I love reading them. And I know that other people take inspiration from hearing how other social media managers are doing. So definitely want to start bringing that kind of content to you more. And one thing I'm going to stop doing next year, I'm probably going to stop overthinking everything that we share. I am one of those people who, when we are creating something to go on Instagram, I spend ages in Instagram creating a carousel. And I am very much a words-based person. So I will nitpick over little words that are going in a carousel, knowing full well that most people are probably swiping through and only reading the headlines. So I'm going to try and stop overthinking it, and we'll see if that actually works. So that's me. That's what I'm going to be starting doing and stopping doing in 2025. Over to Laura Davis.
Right, I had to think long and hard about this. Probably too long. But okay, so the easy one is what I want to start doing. I want to start with the view to carry on some behind the scenes content. Like, we do this in fits and starts and we're not very consistent with it. We're not particularly strategic with it. And it's hard when there's two of us to get that balance right. So we're going to look at ways in which we can start doing that more efficiently in 2025, and how that looks or what platform that's on. I don't know yet, but that's definitely on top of my list of things to start. Things to continue, and I will continue with this forever and a day, is being led by the data. It's by looking at what's working and going all in on that. It's something that we always try to do, and we've certainly had a much more concerted effort this year of not spreading ourselves too thin and really kind of focusing in on what works, what platform works for us, what type of content works for us, and just keep going with that and continue to be led by the data and not by opinions or other people, etc., etc. So that's the one we're going to continue. The one I'm going to stop was a trickier one for me to think of, maybe because there's many. But the one thing I definitely need to stop doing is when I'm looking for content inspiration at the moment, I'm finding myself down these rabbit holes within my niche or our niche. And I don't want to do that. I need to, and we used to be really good at this. So I do need to stop it. And I want to go back to being more inspired by content, which is outside of our niche. And then obviously interpreting that in a way that we can create content that obviously resonates with our audience. So we used to do that. We've kind of fallen off the wagon, so to speak. So I definitely need to stop with the rabbit holes in the wrong places. So that's it. Can't wait to hear everybody else's.
Hi, I'm Jenna. I am the founder of This Social Cottage, and I help you to grow your Instagram in just 15 minutes a day and monetize it through digital products And I would say the one core focus of 2025, particularly when it comes to Instagram growth and doing it in a way that doesn't burn you out and doesn't make you think that Instagram hates you, would be to really refine your messaging. Really boil down the exact outcome in plain English, no jargon, of what you do, who you help, and really focus on the symptoms. Often we focus on the problems that people are struggling with, but actually sometimes when we're scrolling, we don't actually realise that we are struggling with that exact problem. But we know that we've got symptoms we're dealing with, and actually we're using social media to get away from those symptoms, aren't we? So I would be focusing on clarity of message and speaking directly to people's symptoms so that then you become the obvious solution when they're scrolling in their free time.
Hello, my name is Bethany Carter and I've been working in social media marketing for over 15 years. And after freelancing as lemon squeezy marketing for just over a decade, the business has recently evolved into a social media agency, specialising in content marketing, corporate communications, which is not always B2B, FYI, but is mostly. And our primary network for client work is LinkedIn. We do a lot of company page management, ghostwriting, and so I'm going to focus on that for this. So one thing I will stop doing is connecting with anyone and everyone out of politeness. I've always just felt really rude refusing anyone who wants to connect with me. And I know that I shouldn't accept every connection request, but it just feels right to me to say yes. And that's obviously not the right thing to do because my inbox is full of spam from new connections just pitch slapping me left, right, and centre. And this is also because I want to curate my feed better and make sure that I'm seeing the posts in my feed that I actually want to engage with and feel inspired to read. So that's one thing I'm going to stop doing. One thing I will start doing is experimenting a bit more with paid company page options. So I've been putting a lot of my energy into adapting current processes for options that have been taken away with the new paid company page options. For example, the employee advocacy. So we now do a lot of that work via Teams emails instead. But what I haven't done is experiment with the new paid features to see if they're worth it for my clients and kind of playing with those. I tend to usually sit back for a little while and let these new features settle in before I jump on board. But now it's time for me to kind of get on board with that and experiment with what they can do and deliver for my clients. And one thing I will continue doing is encouraging my clients to post videos and to post them in portrait orientation on LinkedIn, like in the style of Reels and TikToks. So the new LinkedIn video feed that was introduced earlier in the year looks like it's probably going to be here to stay. And to be honest, even if it isn't, video does get 5 times more engagement on LinkedIn. We know that users will engage with video ads for nearly 3 times longer than other types of ads. And also LinkedIn's research shows that members are 20 times more likely to share a video on LinkedIn than any other type of post. And with B2B being a big focus for us, there's also some research that shows 73% of B2B marketers say that video positively impacts their marketing return on investment. So, I mean, those are just a few stats, but there are so many more stats that support the use of video on LinkedIn, and we always see really good results from it. So I'm going to continue pushing video in 2025.
Hi Laura's, I'm Cara Hackett and I run You Had Me at Hashtag, helping retail and e-commerce businesses nail their organic Instagram, Facebook and Pinterest, as well as supporting them with meta ads. My most popular service by far is setting up or solving issues with Instagram and Facebook shopping or product tagging for clients. In 2025, I want to talk more about my one-to-one training services on my Instagram, as these are a great way to top up my monthly income. And as I live remotely and work entirely from home with a young baby, it's quite honestly nice to break up my weeks with new interactions, even if it is virtually. This year, I've been lucky enough to coach and train some quite high-profile clients in the fashion, home and interiors space. And so I'd also like to post more testimonials or case studies on my Instagram page. I am very lucky that all of my retainer clients have all come through word of mouth, but I don't know who maybe hasn't reached out to me based on what they aren't seeing on my Instagram. I know for a fact that I don't show up enough on my socials, and both Laura's will be advocates for that, and I certainly don't practice what I preach, but I also know that I have all the resources I need in the Inner Hub and Social Media Managers Toolkit by the two Lauras to get back on track. So hopefully I will watch this space.
Hi, Penny here from Barbarossa Social. I am a TikTok expert. I train small business owners how to grow new audiences on TikTok, and I'm also a content creator for brands. Here's what I'll be doing much more of in 2025, and it's photo mode carousels. You do not want to be sleeping on these. Earlier this year, Instagram made carousel posts so much easier by allowing you to add text and therefore aligning with features we already have on TikTok. So now you can do two birds, one stone, both platforms. That's the win in my book. So if you've been afraid of taking on TikTok, this is going to be your secret weapon in 2025. I've been seeing amazing results for brands using TikTok carousels. And to be honest, they're not at all difficult to put together. So if you're not doing it already, try sticking one of these into your weekly content rotation. Create one batch of slides, post to both platforms. It's photo mode only on TikTok, so don't try and smuggle in the videos you can put into your Instagram carousels. Ask yourself, is it a text-based carousel or is it a visually important carousel? So are the images important or are the images just vessels for the text? You can create 2 to 30 slides. A 2 carousel post might be before and after, how it started, how it's going, work amazingly well, nice and easy to make. Also, storytelling is going nowhere on TikTok. Your business story, client stories, chats you have in your niche, things you're learning as you go along all make incredible content. Obviously, it's still a very valuable educational space, so step-by-step guides, product guides, how-tos, allowing for a bit more substance than a quick B-roll. It's very savable and very shareable. So the carousel trends are huge on TikTok as well, obviously. I love the swipe through discovery experience and the fact that I can pace my own viewing experience rather than perhaps a flashy video with lots of transitions or effects. I love the expectation of a giggle that a carousel trend creates, wondering how it's going to end. I often recreate video trends as carousels because I think they work just as well. So think about Man in Finance or the Gen Z script written by managers or even Suspect Running. Any of these would work and, to be honest, would be easier to make than creating a video yourself or waiting for your client to send over the necessaries, and we all know what that feels like. It's an easy way in for the camera shy too, so start by posting your face rather than actually having to speak to camera. So if you haven't tried this on TikTok yet, then why not start with a quick intro post? The first picture of yourself with just text, hello, and the second photo, still yourself, can be the same photo with just things about you, a bit of sprinkled text, things about you. Pin it to your profile and let your TikTok journey begin. Let me know if you give it a go, and good luck doing carousels in 2025.
Hey Laura's, it's Bizpaul here. In 2025, I'm going to stop paying any attention whatsoever to follower numbers on any platform. I feel the algorithms are so good that the right content is just seen by the people to whom it's most relevant. And that word relevant is key. So I'm going to focus instead on creating content that is totally relevant. I'm going to do more work on the specific journeys my customers take. I'm going to look at how they behave and post stuff that brings them the information they need, that helps them, and also that brings them joy. I'm going to let the algorithm do the hard work. I'm going to trust it. We trust it kind of anyway with our lives, so why not just go the whole hog? I'm just not going to pay any attention now to who's following me or anything like that.
This is Sarah of Sarah Richards Social, a content marketer helping businesses to create content to get discovered, nurture their audience, and to sell. In 2025, I'm going to be spending less time on Instagram. My audience won't see the result of that, but my business certainly will. Even if it takes chopping my hands off, I'll be spending less time. What will I be doing more of? Selling in my content and encouraging every brilliant business to do it more. I've been running a content quiz in the latter part of this year as a lead magnet. The results have been really eye-opening. 48% responded that they have not let their audience know what they can buy from them in the last week. Half of business owners are spending time on Instagram and not promoting their thing. What are they doing? I asked the same question in my Instagram stories, and 67% said they hadn't sold in their content in the last week there. So next year, I'll be continuing to help businesses create content that sells and that sells them uniquely.
Hey, I'm Isabel, and I'm a content marketer based in Australia. I help online creatives, coaches, and consultants double their traffic with powerful Pinterest marketing as well as simple content creation. And one thing I'm going to start doing more of is actually believing in the results that I can give my clients. I've had 2 clients this year tell me to put my rates up. And just because they said it's been amazing working with me and I make things so simple and I actually help them reach their social media goals as well as their business goals. So stop undercharging and charge what you're worth. That is what I'm going to start doing next year.
I'm Anna Rumbold. I'm a business and marketing mentor, and I specialize in helping coaches, mentors, and service providers to attract the kind of clients who are ready to pay, stay, and rave about them. I mostly hang out on Instagram. My handle is annarumbold.co. And one thing that I'm going to continue doing and do a little bit more is build a truly sustainable business in every sense of the word in 2025. So I'm going to continue speaking to the client in my content who's most likely to thrive inside my offers and not just say yes to someone who inquires who I know wouldn't be a good fit. Because I know that when I prioritize this, my clients typically get results. They extend their contracts with me and then they tell other people about me, therefore building the sustainability. One thing I'm going to start doing in order to build a sustainable business is launch a couple of scalable offers. I've been conducting some market research and figuring out what my ideal clients value the most. So I'm not creating these offers based on a whim or random ideas. They're going to be really intentional so that they are truly useful for people. And finally, I'm going to start taking more holidays fully off from the business because for me, this really comes into the sustainability piece again. So if you see me sipping my Prosecco on a beach somewhere, you'll know that I've stuck to this one.
So there we go. That is everyone's views and plans and thoughts on how they're moving into 2025. We hope you've enjoyed that. We would love to hear what your things are for the 2025. So come and find us in, generally speaking, we'll be hanging about in Instagram as per normal. We're at the 2 Lauras. But yeah, come and tell us what you're going to start in 2025, what you're going to stop, and the things that you're going to continue. We would love to hear.